Coach Rine, good to see you. It's great to see you. I think you're the master, like we were just talking about. Welcome to the video cast.
Coach Davis, is great to be here. I appreciate the offer.
Yeah, we were going to podcast. My podcast is full, and I wanted people to see what you were talking about because you were a really good offensive mind, and just really looking forward to gaining some more wisdom from you, Coach.
I really appreciated the time we spent about a month ago, month and a half ago. It was a good time. Got to meet your staff. We got to share some ideas, and it's always good to talk football.
Heck yeah, Coach. Talk a little bit about your background, like where'd you come from?
Sure. So I am a Wheeling Central graduate, not recruited. Went there my whole life. Grew up in Wheeling. My family are all Wheeling Central people. As a matter of fact, two of my kids have played football at Wheeling Central. I have one still in grade school. They're actually fifth generation Wheeling Central kids. They're the fifth generation to graduate from there, which is pretty cool. I started coaching there. This was just finished my 28th season. 28 seasons coaching football, Wheeling Central. I've been the offensive coordinator there since 2004. When Jim Thomas is a legend in Wheeling Central and Ohio Valley football. He won a AA state championship at Wheeling Central in 1979. I believe that Central started playing in the SSAC in 1976. They played in the Catholic League, before that. And then the Catholic schools, a bunch of them got so small that they didn't have football any longer. Mm-hmm. So I believe that the Board of Education admitted the Catholic schools into the SSAC around 76. We were AA at the time. Mm-hmm. And won a AA state championship in 1979. Coach Thomas left to go to coach at Wheeling Park for a while. He came back my senior year of high school, which was the 1988 football season. When he did, he brought this thing with him called the Delaware Wing Tee. And we were as traditional Delaware Wing Tee as you can imagine. We went to Kiski, Tubby Raymond, and Wing Tee camps. Chuck Clausing spent a lot of time in our coach's office exchanging film. Up until a couple of years ago, I still shared a lot with Coach Clausing on the phone. Would send him film, he would watch. So I was a Wing Tee guy. I mean, every one of my passwords on any electronic device I have to this day is Gap Down Backer. So if anybody ever gets into any of my stuff, they just know Gap Down Backer will get you into anything that you need to know. And there was a reason that that's what we are. We wanted to create, Coach Thomas used to talk all the time when he came back, that we need a system. We need a philosophy. And, at the time, this is what he wanted to do. This is what he wanted to be. Coach Thomas, we won a state championship in 2000. That's our first single A state championship in a game against Moorfield on the island. We got beat by Moorfield in 2001 in the island in the state championship. And then we beat Moorfield in one of the better games I've ever had the opportunity to be a part of in 2002, an overtime 14-7 win. Alan Fiddler was the coach of Moorfield at the time. Fantastic offensive mind. Just a super coach. We had some great battles with those guys. Coach Thomas passed away in 2004. He was a tremendous coach. He's probably my biggest coaching mentor, my biggest coaching influence. Smart, super smart guy. And he believed what he believed, and we practiced it and practiced it and practiced it and practiced it. Mike Young was on the staff at the time. And Mike was the perfect guy to step into Coach Thomas's shoes. I don't think there are a lot of people that could have filled the void the way that Coach Young has, as evidenced by where we are, as we sit here right now. So I have been, the OC since 2004. We've had the great opportunities that we've had. We've had a good amount of success, I believe, 04, 05, 06, 07, 10 and 11, and then 17, 18, and 19, we've won state championships since Coach Young has taken over. It's been a ton of fun to be part of it. And, I got to coach my oldest son here at Wheeling Central. He was a water boy when I first started coaching all the way back when. And he's a 4-year starter for us at quarterback. He was a really good player. And my second son, that was my son Isaac. He now plays baseball at West Liberty. My second son, Jacob, just finished was a 3-time state champion and had a really nice. He was the MVP of the Super Six. I had a great game filling in as a backup. And then I had a 5th grader. Lord knows what's going to come down the pipe for him because he's a little bit different than the other two.
Sure.
So we are kind of immersed in the Wheeling Central community. It's who we are, and we're really proud of it.
That's awesome, Coach. Talk about, for people that don't know, talk about Central Catholic football, because in West Virginia we know that's a powerhouse. You just went through it. These last 3 years, talk about kind of your run, because you guys are 3-time state champs, and three-peat, excuse me. That's amazing.
Yeah, so we have, like, I believe in, there are 4 core principles, and they kind of go in this order. And I think that toughness is number 1, and that is both mental and physical toughness. Nothing else matters unless you have physical and mental toughness. And during this run, and we displayed both types. The 2017 state championship came off of a very ugly offseason in which a group of people tried to take Coach Young's job, and he lost it for a couple of days. And the community and the team and the coaching staff rallied around him. We got him back installed. Coach, we started that season 0-2. And during that season, we were 0-2, we were 2-3, and we were 3-4 during that football season. That's mental toughness, right? So there's different types of toughness. There's mental toughness and there's physical toughness. And the mental toughness that we showed in the off season to rally around and to be loyal, and and to get back to where we needed to be. And then the mental toughness of the kids. A lot of really good football players graduated after that class, that class the year before. A lot of touchdowns walked out of that building. We were young, we were really talented, but we just had to grow up and mature as football players. And it took a certain level of toughness to be 3-4 and not to mail it in. But we did 2 things. We never stopped coaching. They never stopped listening and practicing hard. Don't pay attention to your record. Don't pay attention to the scoreboard. And that showed that 17 was an example of mental toughness, gutting it out. 2018, we bullied people. It was physical toughness. We were better than people. We had some dudes running around, and 3 or 4 or 5 of them are playing in college right now at at a nice level. And we were physically tough. We imposed our will on people. And then this past season, we came back and we probably showed as much courage and as much mental toughness as a team can. Kurt McGee got hurt in week 7 this year. Kurt offensively is the best football player I've ever coached. I've been doing this a long time. He's the best football player on the offensive side of the ball, not the defensive side, but on the offensive ball that I've ever coached, we've ever had. Beginning of the season, his name was being thrown around, and talking about the Kennedy, tore his ACL against Martins Ferry, and we had to quickly find out who we were.
Yeah.
And we had some pretty mentally tough kids. Adam Murray, he's your 3-time Huff Award winner on the defensive side of the ball as a captain. Jalen Creighton, great high school football player. And my son, Jacob, was the other captain. He was a backup quarterback, played wide receiver, and he plays kick for us. They held us together. They were mentally tough. We as a coaching staff took it, really hard. Anytime something like that happens to one of your kids, not just one of your leaders, which the kid we all, you just love having him at practice. What happened to Kurt? You hate to see it. You can't pout about it. And I probably pouted about it a little bit too long. And so, Jacob said, "Hey, Dad, we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this." And they did. They showed such courage, such toughness. And I think that is something that lots of these kids have been around our program since they were in the 5th grade. We talk about this all the time, and I'll get to a little bit when we talk about community. Everybody says, "Why are there so many kids running around on your sidelines down there? You guys got like 16 water boys." You're absolutely right. We do, because that means we're going to have 16 kids that have been immersed in our culture from the time that they've been 6 years old. And we think that is really, really, really important. So we think that, toughness is number 1. If you ever want to really get this done, toughness has to permeate throughout all aspects of your program. We have a saying, and I won't use both words, but this is just 2 quick rules in our program: DBAP and DBAD. I'm sure you got a lot of smart coaches out there who can figure
Sure,
out what that means. Don't be a and don't be a. Those are our rules. That's it. That's the list. And we feel like if you have that, we can create a certain standard of toughness, both mentally and physically, in our program that we need to succeed. The second biggest thing is we talk about love. Um, that's the second pillar of this. You got to love each other. You have to love your kids. You have to treat them like you would. You got to love them hard, and you got to be honest with them. Kids appreciate you being honest with them.
Mhm.
They want to know the truth. They want to know where they stand, and they can quite honestly tell you when you're bullshitting them. So don't bullshit them. Tell them the truth and love them. No matter what happens, we're going to get through this. We're going to get over it. A lot of love got us through last season. A lot of love got us through last season. Um, Number three, you have to have community support and school buy-in. And we have that, fortunately for us, in a tremendous way. Like I just talked about the Water Boys.
Mhm.
You know, my son Jacob, that's going to graduate, started coming to football practice with me when he was 3 years old,
Oh my gosh.
and he was there for every one of them after that. Isaac started when he was 5, and they all have buddies that want to come. So one buddy turns into 2 buddies and turns into 5 buddies. Next thing you know, we get 16 little hoodlums running around here on the sidelines during games. It's community. The names that you see on our roster now
Mhm.
are the same names that you saw on the roster 15 and 20 and 25 years ago at our place.
Mhm.
And that's a really important thing. It's tremendous. We have a great principal, Becky Sancone, and she's married to a college basketball coach, Danny Sancone, the head basketball coach at Cal U in PA. Um, she gets it. She was a successful lacrosse coach, at one time in her education career. So she completely gets it. We have tremendous support from a booster association, from our community, and from the school. And you need that before you do anything else. After you get the toughness and after you have the love, if you don't have the support of your community in your school, who are you playing for? What are you fighting for? One of those situations. And then the last scheme, honestly, is scheme.
Mhm.
Scheme is number 4 on that list. I like to think that everybody runs good plays. I like to think that everybody runs good stuff. Will kids do it for you? Is it easy to teach? Can you teach it? And will the community come out and support you? Those are the things. And when you talk about scheme, you got to be real honest with yourself.
Mhm.
Can your team run it? Can your athletes execute it? And can you coach it? Look, we thought that we were going to be 2010. We had a tremendous tailback, and we were really good up front.
Mhm.
And I said, we're going to become an inside outside zone team, and we're going to throw the ball down the field. That lasted about one scrimmage
Oh,
because I'm not good at it. That's not what I coach. That's not what my experience is.
Mhm.
And we flipped back on. We ended up winning a state championship, and we bullied people, mauled people, blocking down, kicking out, running downhill, and that's what that's what we were. So know what you can teach, know what your kids can run. And we had a philosophical switch in 2000, and we won state championship 2006 purely as a wing T team. And the more and more that I sat around, I thought, and I watched film, and I talked to people, and I shared with coaches. I was at Catholic high school in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Mhm.
My job takes me a lot of different places. I'm not a teacher, but my job takes me a lot of different places. Dale Weimer was the coach at Baton Rouge, at Catholic high school there, and he ran something called the Spin Series, but he ran it purely out of zone principles.
Mhm.
And I looked at it and I was like, well, crap, he's just running the wing T with the quarterback and the shotgun at
Mhm.
4 and the fullback in front of him. This is the wing T, guys. We can do this. And we always tell people, like, when what we do on offense, for the most part, we're playing with 12 guys because we're playing with an invisible quarterback. And so we spent that off season developing the spin series. So what we did is we married the true spin and the spread and the wing T, and we smashed it all together. And it's been really good to us for a really long time. We kept the core principles of the wing T, the buck,
Mhm.
power sweep, counter, trap, belly, play action pass, and we married it with the spread, gun, no huddle. And it's become something that, we really kind of hang our hat on. If you ask people around state, hey, what do they do? Well, that's their spin series team, and they're going to try to hang 50 on you anytime they can.
Mhm.
So
That's awesome, Coach. Well, shoot. Fire it up. Show us what you're talking about.
All right, so we're gonna go a little screen share. Let's see if I can do this.
Coach, you got this.
You got it?
Got it.
All right, so I'm gonna scroll down here. I'm gonna come back to what I got up on the screen right now. These are some cut-ups of our, core spin series principles. You got any questions, go ahead and ask as we go along. The base play, our base play off of the spin is power sweep. And you got to be able to run power sweep. And we don't necessarily use this terminology anymore with 28 and 47, but it's what we did when we started this, just because it was, 2-back, 8-hole, 4-back, 7-hole. We've become a little bit more elaborate with the way that we call plays because we are no huddle. We use boards. We use some states and that sort of thing. But so the original concept is in this, we're basically 9 times, the base formation out of this is double wing, double split end. We play the quarterback at about 4 yards. We play the fullback, the 3-back, with his inside foot on the quarterback's outside foot at about 3.5. And in power sweep, we're going to go in high or orbit motion, like some of these guys like to call it, with the wing back and a dead sprint at the quarterback's back pocket. And we want to get downhill then as fast as we can. And we are going to gap rule block on the front side. The 4 guys on the right side of the center are going to block down. The fullback is going to kick out the first thing that shows up off the edge, and the backside guard is going to get up through. Let's see what it looks like right here. Everybody's down. We're kicking out. There's the guard through. We got a wide receiver working downfield. And, Chris Martin was the kid that could run the football a little bit for us. Let's go to the next example. Here's a really good example. This is our strong set. We're just covering the tight end with the split end. So to the top of the screen, we're tight end, tackle, guard, center, 2 wing backs. Again, you see the fullback on the quarterback's outside foot with his inside foot at about 3.5. And everybody's blocking down. Backside guard's going to pull around. Quarterback is going to go play side 3 or 4 hole. So get the guard up through. State championship game against Williamstown, 2007. This is a fantastic example of, I really want you to pay attention to the backside guard getting up through off of the kick out block from the fullback up onto the safety. This is your touchdown block right here. He's up through. Kick out, backside guard folding up through. We get a really nice double team down block from the wing and the tight end. Receivers working downfield. This is the core of it. Every play that we run in the spin series, we run off of this. 2011 state championship game, again against Williamstown. Tremendous program, very proud program. This is a great example. I want you to watch these clips of tight end and wing working together on the down block. They have a really good feel for each other. They're going to combo, or they're going to start as a double team, but if the end disappears, and a lot of these you'll see coming up, see a really nice job of the wing back climbing down to the next level. Disappears on a linebacker, kick out, guard through. It's a good football play. And this is what we hang our hat on. This is the first play we put in. Again, another great example. Climbing, guard through, good hard downhill physical run.
That's beautiful.
Another great example of a double team. I want you to coach, I want you to really pay attention to this double team you're going to see right here with the wing here and the tight end. Good solid double team on this end. Coach, I think you could get through this hole. What do you think? Good kick out block.
I can get through there.
The backside guard doesn't encounter anybody until he gets to the 5-yard line. Gio Binaconi was the tailback of this game. He set a state record, 356 yards rushing. I think he ran this play the entire game. Again, climb. We got a lot of black jerseys down there on the second level. Give you one more here. I think there's one more. Now this quick teaching point right here. We teach our um, ball carrier, if he can read the number on the back of the kick out jersey, we're going to make a 90 and get up in the hole. If he can't, and we're going to bounce it, because that means, essentially that the fullback has had to log whoever he's kicking out. So this is a good example of an adjustment by the fullback on the block, because the outside linebacker comes hard, and a nice run by Gino, understanding I can't see his number, so I'm going to bounce this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
So the first play, complementary play we run off of power sweep is counter tray. Again, we don't call it that anymore, but in these old cut ups, that's the way we call it. So we're going to sell. First example wasn't a great one. So we're going to sell power sweep really hard with everybody. If you're reading the fullback, he's taking you like we're running power sweep. We're going to get a great mesh point between the wing back and the quarterback. And then, we're going to run guard tackle counter coming back. This is good stuff. Good mesh point. We are fanatical about our mesh points. It's funny, when kids are freshmen and sophomores, they're great at mesh points because they want to impress you at practice and they know that they have to do it this way. We really have to hammer, believe it or not, our juniors and seniors as they get older, because they think that, hey, I've done this so long that mesh points really aren't that important any longer. But we really talk about mesh points and deception and who has the ball. And a good, we always talk about a good fake's worth a block. So this is another really good example of the play. Great mesh, who has the ball, kick out, tackle through. You'll see a great mesh point here. Good fake. Who's got the ball? A lot of people running around in a defensive, level 2 and level 3, not understanding where the football is.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good play for us for a number of years. It's a really good example of it too. So that's the first play that we run off of it. 13 or 14 power. The discussion that we always had is, okay, great. How do we run belly? How do we run belly if the fullback's in front of the quarterback? Well, we've come up with a number of ways. This is the first way that we've come up with, and we've gone back a little bit to playing it a little bit of a pistol also. But we're going to fake power sweep here. We're going to fake power sweep really hard, and then the fullback is going to just be our lead blocker through, and we're going to essentially kind of run some belly action with the quarterback back at 3 and 4 hole. You'll get a good mesh point here, good mesh. And why this happens, Coach, is this is against Moorfield in 2011 state semifinal or state quarterfinal game. They watched a ton of our film. They're really well coached. And they said, you know what you're not going to run? You're not going to run power sweep. So to the fullback side, that's why this guy's line up in a 3-point stance all the way out here. And after a series or two, we saw that. He said, you know what? They're not going to let us run power sweep as much. So we're going to run counter and we're going to run belly or power, 13 or 14 power belly concept. And we ran this play up and down the field, as you will see. But it all starts because our ability to successfully run power sweep. We're going to make you defend all 8 holes on the field and all 4 guys that can carry the ball, because they can all carry the ball on every snap. Again, playing for power sweep, we just bring it back, and we had great success just running the ball off tackle with our quarterback here. You got any questions? Ask away.
So you're like ISO belly blocking that, correct?
That's what we're either base or cross blocking. Traditional, wing tee. That's where we took the wing tee and we married it. It's the guard's call whether we're going to cross it or base it. He communicates that with his tackle, and off we go.
What are you telling the tight end to do there, Coach?
The tight end, it depends. So in the old wing T, if you ran the ball, if you ran belly to the tight end, you always arced your tight end to create a little space because the defensive end has to, he's going to try to jam and arc him out on the outside linebacker. But what we do now is we actually base the defensive end out and we double team the tackle and we fold through a blocker. That's what you're seeing here.
Okay. It's beautiful.
Nobody for the fullback to block.
Right.
So that's, that's the second play that we run off of that. Now, how do you run 1 and 2 trap if you can't hand the ball off? Well, you direct snap it. So the teaching points on this are, we always want the ball for the we talk to our center all the time about snapping the ball to the belly button of the quarterback. And first of all, it just creates a great sense of muscle memory for him to do that. The quarterback, tends to know where the ball is going to be. And then when we run this play, when we run our inside trap with the direct snap to the fullback, if he has to reach up to his face mask for the football, well, then everybody knows where the ball is.
Right.
And this is not a directional snap. This is snapping the ball at the quarterback, right? And we're going to intercept the snap. We're going to run inside trap up front. You'll see great action in the backfield here. Good mesh point. And if you watch the safety back here, he's not real sure who has the football until it's too late.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So you're faking counter action in the backfield.
Okay, so we used to fake power sweep and then fake counter. We have now we're back to just running power sweep.
Okay.
We wanted a whole lot going on back there, but the more we did it, is that counter action holding that inside linebacker. So we're running everything like we're running power sweep. Now, we used to fake both, but now we just fake inside trap, or we fake power sweep.
Okay.
And you'll see good mesh point, quick trap, touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's running that track really good.
Yes, we all, and there's our rule. When we run trap, we always hit it over the center, regardless of which side we're running it to, and then he's going to pick that tackle up coming down on the linebacker. So we preach and preach and preach and preach and preach. You just run it over the center, because what that means is if a linebacker's coming in a gap, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to trap him. We're not going to trap that tack. We're going to trap him, and if you hit it at the hole, that becomes very difficult. But if we run it over the center, it doesn't matter if that guy comes hard at A. We're going to trap him because we're still running it at 0. Okay. And we're going to find the tackle to the play side, and we're going to look to make a little cut off his rear end as he comes down. Mm-hmm. This is a great example of what backfield action and the ability to run power sweep will do for you. You watch this safety back here, right back here. He doesn't know who has the ball until it's too late. And he's playing for power sweep, power sweep, power sweep because they've watched it on film. Here he comes to stop power sweep, and there goes trap right behind him.
Jeez, yeah.
And again, he's hitting this thing right over the center, and it's too late.
He's gone.
Thanks. Right over the center. We got people downfield.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we enjoy it. Now, down trap, again, staple of the wing T, and we incorporate it. So when we run 1 and 2 trap or the inside trap, we run it away, right? Away from the motion. Mm-hmm. Down trap, we run to the motion. Mm-hmm. As you'll see here, again, same principle with the fullback. He's intercepting the pitch. We're going to get a mesh point in the backfield. Is it power sweep? Who has the ball? No, the fullback has the ball. We're running down trap. Mm-hmm. Not a great example there. Good example here. Quick down trap.
Nice.
if you really want to see how you block, this is a trap block. This is against Kaiser in 2007. They were really good. He came to the stadium, I think, maybe our last game in the season. And we had a really good football game with them. Again, they're up there taking away power sweep.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to run down trap in, and I want you to pay attention to the right guard. This is about as well as you can down trap.
Boom.
To the whistle, to the whistle, to the whistle, to the whistle.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, Coach, we always, everybody tends to think that, now what we've been able to do with this offense is, when we're good, like when we got dudes, it's really good to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it can get really, really good. Like last year we had dudes, we didn't run a whole lot of the spin, believe it or not, because we had the opportunity to do some other really fun things. I'll show you a little series of it here in a couple minutes. But what this allowed us to do is play with teams that were better than us.
Yeah.
In my 28 years at Central, I've never coached a Division I scholarship football player ever, not one single kid,
Mm-hmm.
not one. With all the success we've had, with all the games we've won, we've never had one Division I college football player. We've had a couple 1AA, we've had some Division II, some Division IIIs, and we've had some good players come through.
Mm-hmm.
We play a pretty challenging schedule, a really challenging schedule. And if we lined up in the eye and tried to do these things, we wouldn't have the success that we have had. We have to get creative. This offense has given us the opportunity a lot of times with, against teams that are better than us to win football games. When you bring it all together and you got kids that are pretty good players, it gets really interesting. So this is option, and we run it just like we run power sweep. And the only thing different is the quarterback takes the place of the running back or the wing back, running the primary ball carrier, but it gives him the opportunity to pitch the football also. We're going to run it exactly like we run power sweep.
Mm-hmm. So if the end spills that kick out, it's good for him to pitch.
So here's the thing we always tell the quarterback. If you can run the ball to the boundary, pitch the ball. That's the rule.
Okay.
If you can run the ball to the boundary, pitch the ball. He's going to make a 90, 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
It's also really nice when your backside guard can run like this.
Yeah, he's running like a skill guy.
Yeah. His dad was Gordon Gordon. He was WVU's first. He was Don Nealon's first captain at WVU.
Oh, okay, that helps.
Yeah. Here's
Is
a good
that your
example.
son at quarterback?
No, this is 2007. So this is these are old cut-ups. So you'll notice here, Coach, that this is a perfect example of he sees the kick out. He puts his foot in the ground, much like a tailback does here. Make the 90, the old Buck sweep rule, right? Make the 90, make the 90, make the 90. This is one of those instances.
That's awesome.
Another good example here.
Mm-hmm.
He can run it to the boundary. We pitch the ball. We've got bodies downfield.
That's beautiful, Coach.
Watch the backside guard here.
Yeah, yeah. Boom.
Folding up through.
Yeah, yeah.
And these, this is just always giving us the opportunity. We don't run this play anymore. I'll just show you an example of it. This is where, how do you run long trap? Because the orbit motion, that high motion makes long trap really difficult to run just because of the depth of which you're getting the ball and moving.
Right.
So we started running with the quarterback. We actually we're going to fake power sweep, and then we're going to fake counter. The fullback's going to fill opposite, just like he does on traditional long trap out of the wing tee. And we're going to run this play with our quarterback. We don't run this play anymore, but it was a interesting, lots of stuff happening in the backfield here.
Mm-hmm. Lots of eye candy.
Yeah, this is a really nice example of it. We got a couple of really good mesh points, good mesh point, and there he goes with the ball. Not a lot of people in blue jerseys know who had it right there.
Yeah, like who is that? Yeah.
Right.
Boom. Because it's very unique. We've talked at length before, but that's something that I think has really got to help you with this.
So my original concern, right? And look, us guys, you know, I didn't want it to be a gimmick, right? I didn't want people to think this is some gimmick. This is the wing tee, guys. This isn't Tubby. It is Tubby Raymond's wing tee.
Yeah.
Because this is still gap down backer on buck sweep. You know, this is, you know, all of the core principles are here. It's really hard to prepare for because you're not going to find somebody, you know, your junior or your sophomore quarterback on the scout team isn't running this. He's not going to run it. So it becomes difficult to prepare for. But at the same time, man, this is downhill right in your face.
Yeah.
Let's rush for 500 yards. Or, hey, you know, with this same offense, you know, we have rushed for 5,000 yards in the season, and we have thrown for 2,500 yards in the season.
Right.
So, you know, it depends on what you want out of it and what the kids that you have can do.
Mm-hmm.
This is just buck sweep now. So in buck sweep, the fullback is going away.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of leading, he's filling for the backside guard here. You'll see a good example. Just diving straight in the hole.
Yeah. Now, do you teach your fullback where to line up, or do you tag him?
He knows where to line up.
Yes.
Like back in the old wing tee, you know, over, switch, slide. What we started to do with this is, you know, where you line up on the play. I mean, it's something you're going to have to do.
Right.
So Navy is our mid screen off of this. It's been a good play for us for a long time. We're going to sell power sweep, man. We're going to run power sweep really hard, and the play side wing back is going to run mid screen. It'll look just like power sweep with the fullback leading, good mesh point. We're going to carry out the fake hard here. And they're just going to dip in underneath.
It's awesome. Coach, keep talking. I want to close the door of the room. I was talking to your mom, and they talk very loud.
Oh, no worries. I got them too. So, again, here's a great example of a very aggressive defense playing man-to-man coverage, and we run power sweep well. They're going to sell out here to stop power sweep, and we're going to hit them, you know, right back underneath with our mid-screen that we just call Navy. Another good example, again, man-to-man team. We're selling power sweep. Everybody's leading. We're back down underneath. It's a really patient job by our quarterback right here on this play. A lot of stuff in his face, a lot of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice job. It's Navy. So fullback screen, we really love this play a lot. So it's going to look, again, just like power sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to our fullback, get up, get lost, and get out. Those are his rules. Get up, get lost, and get out. So we're going to run this away from the play action.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to fake power sweep. Again, coach, everything's off of power sweep. There's the screen off the back end of it.
Mm-hmm. So you're protecting your base play.
Absolutely. We're absolutely always protecting our base play. Again,
what's your coaching point in your fullback? Like, what are you telling him as far as landmark wise?
So I'm a cone guy, right? Even when we run our routes in June and in the first week of August, we run to a spot, right? So I try to set a spot 10 to 15 yards outside of our last man on the line of scrimmage. And 9 times out of 10, when we run this play, that's the tackle.
Okay.
And so what he'll do is he gets up and he gets lost Well, we use shields in practice, up with him, get up, get lost. We always slip inside the last man on the line of scrimmage. We don't obviously want to go outside the last man on the line of scrimmage. So it's patience. It's patience by two people. It's patience by the fullback to let that edge rusher get upfield, right? And it is patience by our quarterback, because as you saw, like you'll see again on this play, I mean, he got to hold this thing for a while. There are some dudes in his face.
Mm-hmm.
And we pull our center guard and tackle.
Okay.
Or we screen our center guard and tackle, I should
Right.
say. It's been a really good play to us. I actually like it on first down a lot,
Mm-hmm.
because it comes right off of our base or our core, with the power sweep.
Right.
Now, this is an example where he doesn't. Defensive end plays it really well. Our tackle stayed engaged a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's on there as a teaching point, is why we don't stay engaged. Because what happened on that, coach, if you look at it, our fullback isn't able to get under that edge rusher, because our tackle stays engaged too long. And because he stayed engaged too long, it makes it difficult to run the play, because the defensive end is out there.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get rid of him.
Right. You want to make him think he's a good pass rusher, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We made it's been a really good play to us.
Mm-hmm.
That kid running the football right now is the strength coach for Pitt, right as we sit here.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is the core play action off of it. We're going to run post wheel to the play side. And then we swing the motion back. So the motion back is going to – I don't think he does here on this particular play, but he should. We're just going to run post wheel off of play action here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the wheel.
Wide open.
Again, it's a very difficult situation. Now, here's a great example against cover 2 safety. It just takes him a second to pause. And we read post to wheel. I know that we had long discussions in our coach's office about, you should really look wheel first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And everybody can disagree with me if they would like, but these are 16, 17-year-old kids, and I want their field of vision to go one way. Right. I want them to read post to wheel to swing. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't want him to have to read wheel, back to post, back to the check down,
right,
which is the swing back. So when we send this guy in motion now, we fake it to him, and he just swings out in the flat.
Mm-hmm.
I want the quarterback to read post to wheel to swing, because what we're doing off of this, it's play action, right? So this play was put in to stop the safety from getting nosy and up into the running alley of power sweep. Mm-hmm. So his first read is that safety, and as you can see, the safety takes just a step or two up, and it's too late.
Right. Yeah. Touchdown.
All day. Great example. You can see the safety shadow back here. Mm-hmm. And we had this is state championship game, again, 2007 against Williamstown. He starts coming real hard to take away power sweep and can't do it because everything looks the same. Mm-hmm. If you're a safety, watch this mesh point. What does that look like to you?
Mm-hmm. Looks like power, yeah.
Looks power sweep, man. And there's just nobody back there because he's got to take away power sweep because we run it to death.
Right. A great throw on the wheel. Is the backside receiver ever in the progression, coach, or is he just –
No, we're never going to get it to him.
Get to him, yeah.
So a lot of times what we do now, coach, is we run it with the tight end.
Okay.
And that's an extra – we have extra protection now.
I got you.
And we don't send him out.
Okay.
Here's a great example. If we run it out of our strong set, so there's a split end down here at the bottom of the screen covering the tight end. Mm-hmm. And there's just some confusion here. We run power sweep, we run power sweep, we run power sweep. And, this is against a really good football team, Shady Side High School in Ohio. It's too late, guys.
Yeah.
a little out 99, just a little X route and a slant on the backside. Now, we will, coach, throw to the backside in this. And we love this play inside the 10-yard line when teams are playing man-to-man, because what this defense right here in this situation is doing is that outside linebacker is playing man-to-man on that wing. They're 4-4. That outside linebacker is playing man-to-man in that wing. He has the fullback to his side, so on his scouting sheet it says, okay, I have to really be worried about power sweep here, right? And he's reading, I got high motion, good mesh point, here comes power sweep. But it's not, right? And he's also got man-to-man responsibilities on that wing back. So we love this play, down around the 10-yard line against teams playing man-to-man, because there he goes.
Right.
I mean, he's responsible for power sweep. He's the edge defender on power sweep. Now, this is a good example right here of when do we throw to the backside? Okay, so can you see that arrow? I'm circling him.
Yep.
Okay, so if he goes with the high motion, right, we're going to come back and throw the slant to the backside. So as soon as he sees this quarterback sees him leave, he sees this big field right here to throw the football to. And that's when we throw backside. So he leaves, and there's touchdown. And we do run waggle out of this too, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
We ran it twice this year in the state championship game, really successfully. And just true waggle principles. Block it just like Tubby's.
Mm-hmm.
Drag it on the backside, 3 levels. It's been a good play for us. Good example of the quarterback, nothing open.
When do you teach him to run? Like, what's his progression on that, Coach?
Second, he wants to run. Obviously, we read 3 to 2 to 1, right? We read 3 to 2 to 1. But, Coach, I'll tell you what, the second that he feels that he can get 5 yards, he runs the football.
Okay.
He runs the football. We like it out of a condensed formation. We're just going to go, a little tight formation here. Again, same route, same principles. But, Coach, what happens here now is this brings this backside receiver, this backside receiver up here on the backside post into play when we condense the formation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, nice.
And this is a great example of us actually hitting that guy right here. And Coach, because of the base formation is it's essentially appears to be a double set. I mean, you're playing with a tighter wing. You pass and you're in the gun. Your passing game is open for anything that you want to run. Your 4 verticals,
right?
Just your X stuff, and your smash route. Any of that is there, and that's why we really like it. I mean, we run hitch to death too, man. We just catch and throw anytime he wants to.
Yeah. Free access, take it, baby.
Absolutely. So that's the basic, fundamentals of what we've done with the spin series, where it came from. Now, if you want, I can show you what it's evolved into. And I read something online the other day, and if you could run one formation for an entire season,
right,
what would it be?
Yeah.
Well, you know what my formation would be.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I do. Yeah.
So it helps, you got to have a quarterback that can do it.
Right.
Again, what can your kids do? What can you coach? So we've become enamored with and have grown out of just 2 plays into being able to run just about every play in the wing T out of it. And we like to run tight end wing to one side with trips to the other side.
Right.
And we run it so much that that's now our empty set. So, traditional empty trips here and, 2 to the backside.
Right.
Not for us. tight end wing over here, trips to the backside. That is our empty set. And we run quarterback buck sweep. We S into the trips. We pocket to the trips. We throw bubble out of it. You can throw down. You can run counter. And you really, really, really put some stress on that defense by doing that, because you have a fundamental decision to make now as a defensive staff. Are you going to take away? Are you going to take away the tight end wing because we're going to run buck sweep to death,
right.
or are you going to take away the trips? Are you going to defend the trips? It's really hard to defend both, Coach. You know that. It's just very difficult to do. And, I have become enamored with it. Like I said, it's my favorite formation. I'm going to pull some up here for you, okay?
Heck yeah, do it.
You all right on time?
Coach, we're good, man. I'm here for you. Let's do this thing.
All right. So you find – hold on 1 second. I'm getting there. All right. We go back to you. All right. So shared screen. So this is our empty stuff. As you can see, this is last year's state championship game against Williamstown. So there's our tight end wing set over here. And we have trips out here to the field. We always put – what we do is, unless otherwise noted, the center and the quarterback know the quarterback knows which direction we're going to be, empty right or empty left. And we empty, the direction is the tight end wing side. So this is our empty right set. And we always put the tight end wing to the boundary. And we do that because the whole principle behind this is making the defense defend the field out of a power run formation. And if we run trips into the boundary, obviously they can use the boundary as a defender, and they don't necessarily have to defend the trips, right?
Right.
So we don't even, you don't have to signal in this formation. The quarterback should know that, we're empty right here. So we're going to get lined up, and we're going to run buck sweep, Coach. Same rules. Now, we do not fill. There's no fill back. Yeah. So the center's rule changes a little bit here because there's no fullback. Great example of the kick out, backside guard getting through. And we really, 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 Coach, we just really like this play a lot. I'm going to show you from our opener this year against, believe it or not, Williamstown again. Gosh, we play those guys a lot.
Hey, how many times do you play those guys?
A lot, let me tell you. It's a great rivalry. A quick shout out to Coach Smith. He's retired. What a program he built there. Actually, they had a good program prior to him getting there, but he really ramped that thing up. And we have a lot of respect for that program and those guys. And we've had a lot of really, really, really great games with them, over the years. So again, here we are in our opener. Again, just buck sweep away from the trips. And it's nice when you got a dude at quarterback.
Yeah. Kurt McGee's a pretty good player.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player.
And you're running bubble at the top of the screen, right, Coach?
Yeah, so whenever we run buck, right, buck is the call, okay? So buck's the call. We're automatically, running bubble away, because if they don't go out there and defend that okay, we're going to catch it and throw it. The line and everybody's still going to run buck sweep. Right. We're going to run bubble. It's up to the quarterback to make that decision. And, Kurt thinks that this guy out here is far enough out of the box, right, that he can run buck sweep. But if you give Kurt the decision, he's going to run buck sweep.
You're about to say he's going to run bubble.
Yeah. So good play. And then our next series, we get the ball back. You scroll down here to what clip we got. We see all those little kids running around the sideline like I'm talking about. There they all are.
Yeah.
They're there for all the games. So this is a nice little 3-play sequence. Okay, so all out of our empty set. 43. So we're going to sprint into it. Okay. We're going to sprint into it. And we like sprinting into this right now because they said, you know what? That's Kurt back there at quarterback. We're going to take away buck sweep. Right. Mm-hmm. Which I would too. So you still have two linebackers in here. So we're going to sprint into the field. We're going to chip on the edge, and then he should actually get out to the flat. And we're going to take advantage of the advantage that we have out here into the field and the trips. Now on the next play, right, Kurt's going to run buck sweep. Our quarterback's going to run buck sweep. This is the very next play. Good, solid football play. Downhill, 5 yards. Coach, this isn't finesse. This is downhill. Mm-hmm. And now the very next play, Kurt's going to identify that, they only have 2 out here on 3, right? Mm-hmm. On the 3-yard line. So it's he's just going to throw bubble.
You let him check the protection there too, right, Coach?
Yes, he checked because we're on the goal line.
Right.
So when we're down there on the goal line, he'll check because, they're in a goal line defense. If they're bringing people, he will, we'll make sure that we call out whatever our pass protection is. But again, there's a 3-play sequence out of the exact same formation that we were able to, you line up how you want, and we'll take what you give us out of that formation. Right. And then just one more look at, how we really like to do this. Here's going to be another, opportunity where we're going to run some stuff that we normally wouldn't. We've added on, as I should probably say. So this is a playoff game from 2 years ago. We played Freddie Canary and the boys at South Harrison. Mm-hmm. We played at RC Bird, quarterfinal game. And so what you'll see here is it's pouring down rain. I apologize for the film. So, Coach, we love when you play us man-to-man. For a lot of different reasons. We like it. We really like it when teams continue to play man-to-man out of this formation. So what did I say our rule was earlier? We always run empty into the boundary, right?
Yeah.
Unless otherwise noted. Well, this is a situation where they're playing man. So if you're going to guard us man-to-man, right, I'm going to put my trips into the boundary. You're going to send 3 guys over there to watch them, okay, right here. And then if on alignment, boy, I really like buck sweep back the other way. Mm-hmm. So we had the edge captured. I mean, our tight end wing already had the edge captured. We're going to get 2 guards out here. Let's go. And there he goes. And there's nobody else out there because we sent our trips into the boundary because they're in man-to-man coverage. Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Now, off of that, we run counter. You can run down out of this to the quarterback. Mm-hmm. You can run belly out of it to the quarterback by folding through your wing back or floating him across the formation. Mm-hmm. You can incorporate jet into it. You can run jet and counter to the quarter. There's a number of things that you can do with this if you're willing to let your quarterback run the football out of this specific formation. There's not a hole that we can't attack. Right. And all of them are downhill, Coach. That's the most important thing that we're preaching. It's that, how do you develop toughness when we're going to get downhill and we're going to get at you? So this is an example of we've been running, we've been running buck sweep to the quarterback up and down the field. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to run counter as a shuffle pass back to the wing back underneath. So our quarterback's going to catch the ball. He's going to head like he's running buck sweep, but we're going to shuffle it underneath here.
Yeah, buddy.
To our wing back, and we're blocking it counter. And then, another thing that we really like to do, you just put people in a bind. If you're successful running the buck, if you're successful running, power sweep, is we call this our, This is like a Tebow pass situation out of the empty set. Again, we are empty into the boundary because they're playing man-to-man. We're going to sell – the quarterback's going to sell buck sweep really hard. We're going to get the tight end into the down to the corner. We're going to get the wing back out into the flat. You're going to see these three defenders come flying up to take away buck sweep because they've seen it on filming because we've run it very successfully in the game. And, you know, there's just nobody back there.
Yeah, he's open.
Yeah. You know, Coach, talking about the toughness and, you know, when you're running the football, especially the way that we want to run the football, 2 years ago, we stopped stretching at practice. Don't laugh when I say that. We stride, and we make our kids responsible. Like, if you're going to give kids ownership and make them accountable, well, then make them accountable.
Right.
So we stride and we sprint a little. We stride and we run in lines before practice. But when you're in your line, you are to get loose. You know, you're a varsity football player. Be loose when you get on the field.
Yeah.
That's what we talk is be loose. Don't play, you know, grab ass in the locker room for 15 minutes. You know, what? Get loose. So that when we get on the field, we can practice. Coach, you got 2 hours, right?
Yep.
I know what time you guys get to the practice field. You told me, I can't believe that.
It's late. Yeah,
we're walking off the practice field at some points when, you know, when you're going on. So we got rid of stretching, and we have a pre-practice where we take a play a week and we just run it for 10 minutes without wide receivers. They go down and they work on what they work on. They catch balls. They work on their stock blocks, you know, those sorts of things. We line up our you know, a defensive front with linebackers and line with our backs. And for 10 minutes, we run nothing but the play of that play for that week. And we call it our pre-practice. And it has built this sense of renewed toughness. We got away a little bit from, you know, the toughness aspect of things, and that time, that, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, when we didn't win one. We were really tough in 10 and 11.
Yeah.
We were really tough in 17, 18, and 19. And we felt like we needed to do something to bring that kind of mentality back. And we did it through our pre-practice. They beat the hell out of each other for 10 minutes before we actually got into practice. And
That's
it's something we hang our hat on.
Okay. That's awesome, Coach. Coach, that's great. Coach, thank you for coming on and sharing. This is fantastic. This is awesome. This is my second time hearing you teach me, and this is gold. This is fantastic.
I appreciate it. I hope, you know, we get to play some football this fall. Take care of yourself, Zach. Take care of your family. Anything you need, let me know. We'll talk soon.
Coach Rine, you're a good man. Thank you.
Talk to you, bye. Bye-bye.